What's up, guys? Got another cool one to show off. This is a custom compass build. This was made very similar to other ones that I've done. We did the instead of it being a brass dial, it's actually a silver dial that we fully lumed, and then I used a matte clear coat on it, so it kind of gives a different look than just silver. So it's more of a muted silver look back there. I did a brushed case. This is an antique bronze cerakoted bezel that I then went back in and lumed, which is always fun to do. And then gold handset on there with a custom painted brass seconds hand, and then we loomed that. Custom engraved crown whenever it will show for the initials. This is on a two-piece super thick Italian leather strap, which will scrape back and forth on the case. I work it back and forth a little bit, and then when I actually use, just to be completely honest, since this is like a distressed leather, I actually use just a Bic brown, like a dark brown Sharpie on there, because after a while it's going to rub off what leather it wants to rub off, and then you're going to have that kind of look, and you can literally, it kind of stains it. It kind of just makes it that darker color. So I work this back and forth, and then I'll go back in there and I will put that on there and just kind of knock off, because that is, you can see how thick that leather is, because it's folded back over on itself right here and then stitched in. So I'll go back and forth, and it goes to the kind of the look. I mean, you could even use black up there, because you've got this ammo pouch style leather here. But off-white stitching on this. It's more of a kind of a brown stitching there. I don't know why my camera is not focusing. Brushed buckle on the end there, and then I was able to find a matching compass keeper on here. And then we've got a custom laser engraved caseback. Not trying to put all the personal stuff out there, but what we were able to do, just so you can kind of see, had her send over the information on a blank piece of paper, no lines. What is that? A blank piece of paper, no lines. I'll have to use tweezers or something there. Write everything out in black, and then we were able to put her handwriting on the case back. So very cool. So we can do that for you. I didn't realize, I mean, I guess I knew we could do that, but nobody's ever wanted something like this. And whenever I asked my guy, he goes, we can just do it this way. Instead of me picking a font, we can just use her font. So very, very, very cool. Where's my light? I know it's a little bit bright outside, even though it's snowing on March 27th in West Virginia. Well, I guess it did just stop. It was snowing for last video. So it is decently bright, but you can kind of see what's reflecting here. So there is a look at the watch. How much we can cover there. So that is the build. As with every build, they're going to come with matching beads. It's going to come in a brown special edition BVW box. And the bezel on this, it will turn left, it will turn right. Why won't it focus? I get it on there decently tight, so typically it's not going to move by itself. You're going to have to actually want to move that. It's held on with a tension ring. Automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder, but if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it just a little bit. And how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You also notice a little bit of play because you're off the threads. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to just go back and forth and wind. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you'll keep time throughout the day, because that'll be mixed with your rotor that's moving in the back, which you won't be able to see because you've got a solid case back. If you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31 plus hour power reserve. You cannot overwind it. You can wind it all day if you'd like. When you're comfortable with how much you've wound it, you can pull it to the one and only click. You can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 12:27 p.m.
You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown that deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. If you're pushing and prying on it, it was not going to put any adverse pressure on the stem and put any pressure on the movement. When you're good, push it over, take it out of that wind or that time setting, and then wind it back down. And that is your build. So I hope you love it. It came together nicely. As with every build, you're going to get watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything there in the center. You're going to get some leather conditioner. Make sure this leather strap stays perfectly soft. Apply it on both sides. Let it soak in. Remove any excess. This will last as long as your leather strap. So it's only if you feel that the leather is not as supple or soft. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon. You've got an acrylic glass and you can scratch it, but if you do, put a tiny bit of this on it and buff against the scratch, not with it. Filling that scratch, generate some heat with your thumb and you will buff out that scratch. Yeah, if you generate some heat with your thumb, you should knock it out pretty quick. But I do half circles on it. Just use what you need. You're just filling the scratch. So if you put a bunch on there, it's going to have nowhere to go. You're just going to be pushing it all over the place. So, yeah, so that's your build. Hope you love it. Appreciate you reaching out and having me build something. And congrats on the engagement and the upcoming wedding. That is very awesome. The wife and I just celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary last month. So, and I'll celebrate my birthday here in, what is today? 27th. In 2 weeks, I'll be 40. So, so far so good. I hope you guys do the same. So, she is my best friend and helps me with all these builds. So she made your beads. I did your looming, but normally she is the one who paints the dials. So when it's involving looming, I always do that. But she did custom paint the seconds hand and do the little loom pip on that. So she's involved in almost all of them. So actually she's involved in, I think, almost all of them every time. So typically I like to adjust the hands on them or do some sort of painting on them. And she does every single set of beads. So yeah, once again, congrats. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks again, guys.